that bass line, the drums,
The heavy
that
drums too,
the
right?
heavy drum
Yeah.
sound, that sounded very much like
I looked it up. That drum, that was taken from the some drumming that was done by it was sampled by Led Zeppelin,
that's like
um, from When the Levee Breaks, which is that heavy drum sound they had.
that is like freaking amazing because on the on the reaction, I actually said that. I
Oh,
said
really?
I
Okay.
said this may sound crazy. I said, but the drums sound like Led Zeppelin, John
Because
Bonham.
I really don't know the full song of When the Levee Breaks. We should do a reaction to
I
that
am
too.
like I'm like floored because sometimes I come out with these things and I'm probably gonna be wrong about something though about the song. And but before I get there, let me pull back and let me just like bathe in the like wow. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Into the Music. This guy here is Greg, and that guy over there is Chris, my buddy. And he keeps feeding me songs, and I think he's got another
You keep
one.
beating them up.
And so give me another one. What do you got?
Okay, I got a song that was requested by more than one person, and I know this song. It's a great song. Well, I don't want to give it away. It's a Bjork song. We've done one other Bjork song, right, so far, and I
Yeah,
know you like that one.
yeah, that was good.
I don't see why you wouldn't on this one, although it's all subjective. So this is Bjork with "Army of Me." So take a listen. Let me know what you think.
I will. I will. Don't know the song title. We'll check it out.
Okay.
Come back. Right off the bat, that's kick ass. That bass line, that's like a fuzz bass, some sort of distortion on the bass. And the drum it sounds reminiscent of like John Bonham, Led Zeppelin, um, when a levee breaks. Just again, reminiscent, just that sort of heavy drum beat sound. This is really cool. Let's start over. Love this.
Stand up. You've got to manage. I won't sympathize anymore. And if you complain once more, you meet them. I'm your me. And if you complain once more, you meet them. I'm your me. You're alright. There's nothing wrong. Self-sufficiency, please, and jack to work. And if you complain once more, you meet them. I'm lovely. And if you complain once more, you meet them. I'm lovely. I'm too exhausted. And if you complain once more, you meet them I'm lovely. And if you complain once more, you meet them I'm lovely. And if you complain once more, you meet them I'm lovely. And if you complain once more, you meet them I'm lovely. I'm lovely.
I'm going to bring it back a little bit, but I mean, the person who wrote these lyrics, you could see bigger and bigger and bigger army of me. So I have some thoughts what this song is about. Um, Let me go back to right to where she sings that again, and let's write it out.
And if you complain once more, you meet them I'm lovely. I'm lovely.
Yeah, that was a really good song. I really like that. So my take on this, and I could be wrong, it sounded, I mean, just even the music itself, very heavy, very, thudding, kind of heavy-handed, slam down. Um, what she's singing about sounds like a very heavy-handed country militaristic type of control over its people, and basically saying, hey, you wanna rise up, you wanna voice, your concerns, your freedom, your rights, you're gonna meet an army of me. That's the government saying that to the people. That's kind of what I'm getting out of this. Although that part about Rescue Squad, that sort of threw a little monkey wrench into that. I'm not sure what that means, if that fits within what I'm saying, and if I might be completely off. So we'll really be interested to see what Chris has to say about this song.
So
Okay. Yeah. So good. Didn't know the song. Definitely did not know the song. And you know, I gotta tell you, man, I never thought, there were certain bands and artists
mhm.
that when you and I were starting out this channel, before it even like became a reality, we're talking about, we're huddling together, and sort of, laying the groundwork. And there were these bands that we sort of, we knew that, Radiohead would be, there would be, a trip down Radiohead land, and 10 years after was a band that I was really getting into the last several months. And I'm like, hey, Chris, I want to get you into this. And there were so many other bands too. I don't think we ever mentioned Bjork, and not that we really had to, because this is kind of cool, right? Surprises, coming along the way. But this is really a big surprise because I've known about her
Yeah.
from the days of the Sugar Cubes,
Yeah, me too. And
and
I only know this song
you
and the
know,
other song we did
and
so
hearing
far.
a couple things, and then kind of like just not really bothering for some reason. Thinking that she was maybe a little too complex, a little too abstract. I don't know,
Yeah.
just too whatever. I don't know what it was, but
I did even though I like this song and and Human Behavior, and those are the only two I know.
yeah, yeah.
I remember doing a cursory listen to her stuff years and years ago, and I guess it didn't catch me right away. So I think it deserves a deeper listen, just because it didn't catch me right away. I guess I was impatient, and
We're
I'm
all
definitely going
evolving.
to dive deeper into her stuff.
we're all evolving. There was a time in my 20s when I couldn't even think about getting married and
Dude,
having
we're
kids.
not all evolving. I'm sure you know plenty of people who are stuck at an evolutionary period in their lives. You know?
Right. Well, I think we're all stuck in some places or
I'm a
something like that.
realist looking at it.
Yeah, right. But what I
Um,
was saying actually in my 20s, to think that I was going to be, a husband, a father, and all like that,
a
and all
Bjork
this stuff,
listener.
a Bjork listener, and then I hit 40 and I became, a husband and a father or whatever. And it's just like, we evolve. We evolve, like there are points in your life where, you know certain things and you're familiar, but the great thing about life is that hopefully, you're moving along, you're growing and you're changing and you're kind of adapting to new things and you're open to new things like that. So, I don't know how big time important, on the level of life, whatever, like, Bjork is, but
In your musical life,
in
she's
my
big
musical life, it's
now that
it's
you're seeing,
freaking
right?
important. Everything, all
Yeah.
music that I listen to and I really like, man, it's freaking important. They're like all my children. And this is another song, just as another little, pat on the head, another song, a little, one of my kids, because I
If
really,
you heard human behavior, or
I
just in
like human
general, did
behavior.
you expect something that sounds like this at all? Because when I first heard this was so different. I had no idea who it was. I heard it in the car. I tried to remember that one, if you complain once more, and then I, Googled it when I got home, and because I didn't have a cell phone at the time, long time ago. So, where is I going with this?
Well, I think where you might be going with it is what I kind of noticed. I don't know if it's funny because I actually look at it in two different ways here. I think this song, there's similarities. I didn't like go, oh my God, this is a completely like left turn from her because, that bass line, the drums,
The heavy drums too,
the
right?
heavy drum
Yeah.
sound, that sounded very much like
I looked it up. That drum, that was taken from the some drumming that was done by it was sampled by Led Zeppelin,
that's like
um, from When the Levee Breaks, which is that heavy drum sound they had.
that is like freaking amazing because on the on the reaction, I actually said that. I
Oh,
said
really?
I
Okay.
said this may sound crazy. I said, but the drums sound like Led Zeppelin, John
Because
Bonham.
I really don't know the full song of When the Levee Breaks. We should do a reaction to that too.
I'm like floored because sometimes I come out with these things and I'm probably gonna be wrong about something though about the song. And but before I get there, let me pull back and let me just like bathe in the like, wow, I was no, I mean, because when I threw that out there on the video, I was like,
Yeah.
you're kind of throwing
No,
yourself out there looking
that was
stupid.
a good catch.
Well,
That was
because
good.
it sounded well, the 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 drums definitely caught my ear, right? But it sounded like something really special. And I was like, it sounds almost like Led Zeppelin, John Bonham on, When the Levee Breaks. That's
Yeah.
like freaking amazing. You're saying that. So that's like documented. All right. I'm like flying high with that. That said,
You did good on that one. Yeah.
but let me put, but when the bass opened up the song, the bass and the drums, it sounded kind of similar to other Bjork songs that I've kind of, I know it's floating out there and stuff. I think she likes that. I think not every song, but I think that's not, an unfamiliar thing with some of her songs. That said, what was really interesting and what struck me different were her vocals. She seemed to be kind of subdued,
Mhm.
but I mean, but maybe I guess more like a lower type
Oh,
of,
because
not
a
really
lot of times
screaming out.
she has that really wide range that she does.
Yeah, so
But it fit
yeah.
the song. It fit what the song was saying.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. It's that it's that, she's been quoted about basically singing about like singing, like, like shouting out, whatever, like breathing or something like that. It's but here she was more like there was like a lower type of sort of, tone to her vocals,
Yeah,
and it
sure.
was it was kind of eerie, because it was like
Yeah,
this
yeah, it
very
was. Yes.
like she was in like this real kind of like almost like a darkish kind of
Mhm.
like, like, I don't know. I mean, not articulating it right, but it definitely matched with the words
Yeah.
and what the
You
words.
were reading the lyrics when
I
you were
was reading the lyrics. I was staying with it, and it's not like it wasn't like a whole bunch of It's kind of like a few verses here and there, and um, but so my guess at the end of the reaction was that it sounded like it was like a militaristic type of government regime that was basically saying to the folks, to their people, and I guess there are a lot of countries out there that you could basically, sort of connect this to and say, they're going, you can have all the freedom you want, you can have all the, you can rise up, whatever, but you don't want to deal with this army of me. And I'm thinking that, after I sort of said that, and then I'm getting onto the camera here, you're going to tell me that, that sounds too easy and that's not what the song is about, and it's probably something more personal with her or something like that. But, that was my guess, just by looking at the lyrics, it just sounded, and also with just the way the song, just the way the sound, everything was kind of, again, the drumming pulsating. It was very almost like a militaristic kind of, just everything marching on, just moving forward, and then of course, army of me, and she really meant business with that, you know, you're going to be dealing with me, an army of me. So, do you know what the song's about?
Well, first of all, you said your explanation might be too easy, but I don't think so. I think actually now that you mention it, that all kind of fits. But from what I understand, it was her brother, I think, was going through like a depression period, and she just got fed up with it, and she was saying, that's why if you complain once more, she's telling him to be self-sufficient, just, get up and get out of that mood. And so, yeah, that's why the army of her is like, it is militaristic, we're like, I'm not putting up with this anymore. I'm just,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
So, I do like your explanation for
Yeah,
it.
but
If
I
this is
knew
the
it.
one,
I
this is
knew it was
the
going to be a
one.
far cry from what it really was supposed to be about.
Yeah, but
yeah.
that makes sense too. And like, you could apply that explanation just as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
If not
Yeah.
even more so, because it mentions army, and you would think, more literally on that.
Yeah, but I find I guess the real meaning behind it really fascinating now. Like that she went through that with her brother, and then she writes about it, and yeah, like it was no nonsense, man.
He's
She was
probably
like,
like, I can't believe you wrote that song about me.
and then in interviews you talk about it, like I got a depression, I had one.
Maybe she's got lots of brothers, and so it could be any one of them. It's not specific.
Right.
I don't know.
No, but while you were saying that, I was just in the middle of like, thinking like intervention, think about the tough love, when
Yeah, that's what this
are,
is. This is the tough love thing.
I guess the intervention is, you probably
Yeah.
associate that more with like addiction and like, someone
It
who's,
could have been
but it probably
misunderstanding
could
too,
be with someone,
if the guy was clinically depressed,
someone
which people don't
clinically,
understand.
well, that's the thing, right? Clinically
But I
depressed,
understand the frustration.
Well, clinically depressed is like, it's not like just pull yourself up by your bootstraps, it's
That's
like,
what I'm saying. Yeah.
exactly.
But even
I
with
know,
that, I understand the other person getting really frustrated about it.
yeah. That's a whole onion thing, when you're dealing with someone with mental health issues, and I mean an onion, I mean slice the onion is like slings of layers,
right.
absolutely, and just but yeah, I mean, but the song itself, and that's the thing, right? When you react to a song, first time reaction, don't just forget about the reaction. Just listen to a song for the first time, and then try to like understand what the song's about, and all that. It's really hard, right? Something usually catches you, it could be the lyrics to a couple of lines and the sound,
With this song was that main riff.
Right. And I'm also talking
And
to
that just like caught me, man. That's
right. Because I know that we'll get some, and we're going to get some viewers out there who are Bjork fans, and they're going to, and I love the feedback and I love the information. But sometimes I just wonder if folks will know that
we're going to be skewered, man.
That you're coming from a place where you've heard the song over and over and over and over again, and you love it. And this is where we potentially are going to love it, and we're hearing it for the first time, and I think you probably have heard it more but probably not on, on that level. But I got to tell you though, this is I'm going to go back to what I said earlier, that when we were sort of bringing this channel together and thinking about all the artists and bands we were going to really
Mhm.
explore, and Bjork is really becoming like that sort of wild card surprise,
Yeah,
and I'm really
absolutely.
excited now. I'm like,
Yeah.
I really want to
And
listen
we're
to
getting
more.
requests on her, so
Yeah,
that's good. That'll keep us going in that
yeah.
direction.
So cool. So this was great request, and you want to take us out?
Sure. Subscribe if you haven't yet. And if you like this video, hit the like button. And thanks for watching Into the Music.
See ya.